One of the first things to do before we start placing pipe is to actually get the right kind of pipe and connections set up. So if I was to go to pipe right now, you'll see it set as a default type with steel and carbon pipe segments. And it doesn't even have the chance for utilizing PVC for our drain waste and vent system. So let's go ahead and look at loading those in. So I'm going to go to Load Family, go to Imperial Library, and look for pipe. And then go to Fittings, and PVC. Schedule 40 is the type. And we're going to go ahead and grab, just want to look here a minute. We've got caps, couplings, elbows. Well, let's go ahead and grab these right now. Although I don't quite like the way couplings, elbow. I wish these previews were a little larger. So let's go ahead and load these. And we're seeing there's a whole other set in here, and I'm wondering why these are held out. But we'll go back and just grab these. So I'm going to go ahead and select all of these. I'm going to import them. Even if we don't use them, we can purge them later. And we'll go ahead and open that up and load them in. And now let's go ahead and do an edit type. And we'll make a new, we're going to go ahead and duplicate. This is opening on another screen. I have to move it over. So we're going to go ahead and duplicate this, and we'll call it PVC pipe. And we'll go to Routing Preferences, and we'll select Schedule 40. Schedule 40. So all of these things, tap is okay. This minimum size, that can be all. It'll give you a warning if you don't do that. We don't need all of these things, but we're set now. Okay, and then we'll go, all right. Now we have a PVC pipe type. It's labeled that. We really want this to say sanitary, and we'll leave it set at sanitary, even though we will be using some of them as vent. And we want to work in a 4-inch size. 6 is relatively large. This is a relatively small bathroom arrangement. So now we're actually ready to start drawing segments. It's not going to show that, probably because of the level that we had it at. So that's all right. I'm just going to undo that. And I'm going to go to level 2 and zoom in here, because what I want to do is I want to draw our first piece of drain line, and I'll go back to this reference, this cross piece here, to get us set up. So I'm going to go to the level 2 where I can see the wall, grab my pipe. I want this to be reference to level 2, but I really want it to be below the floor. So I'm going to say I want the top of that to be negative, let's just say 1 foot for the start of this. And those will automatically increment for that. And then let's go ahead and pick the center of the wall, because we want to bury that in the wall. And we'll carry that down. And click that off, and then we'll go back to our plumbing of the bathroom, and now we have our first piece of pipe set and inside of the wall. So if I was to actually show the hidden items now, just to give you a relationship, oh, you can't see it because we're not getting wireframe view. Hold on a minute. And then I was to go to this front view. You can see how we're now aligned right underneath that wall with this piece of plumbing, and I set it off so it's 1 foot below grade, so it can now pass without being inside of the floor sandwich. So we'll go back to our 3D view. And go back to our rendering setting. And once again, just to review, we'll go back to level 2 and you can see how that pipe is sitting there within the wall segments. Okay, so with that said, now we've got to figure out how to actually make a few more manipulations of pipe. And I'm going to go to another elevation, but we're going to just work in a 3D mode. I'll go to the right hand view here, and I'm going to go ahead and grab a piece of pipe, and I'm just going to duplicate it. It's and really the goal here is what I want to do is, and I'm outside of that, that's why it's not showing just because it's outside of the crop line. What I really want to do is just change it into a vertical element, and I didn't want to connect it, so let's see if it will automatically unconnect it. No, it won't. So let me not make that mistake again. I'm going to drag this back in a vertical way. Because my goal here is I'm really starting to just get my pieces of pipe that I'm going to need to line up with everything. So I have now a way of moving our pipe down to the base of the toilet into that drain. We need another element here, which will be a piece of pipe coming out of the back of the toilet. Now this is in line because we just duplicated it and rotated it. So the next thing I want to try to do is take another piece of this, and I'm going to copy it. This time I'll just move it over. It's still in the same plane as this one, and I'm going to rotate it so that it is now in the transverse plane. And I haven't done any connecting yet of anything. We're going to hold off on that because I'm just trying to get set up. And let's go back to our and you can see we're not up in the area of the toilet yet. And if I was to select the toilet, you'll notice there is it's a little hard to see, but this is the center line of where that toilet drain is. And I'm just going to move that up to approximate that point. We're really just kind of trying to sketch through how this plumbing layout would look. So let's go to the right elevation. And I'm going to just grab that and move it. And I will take these two components and I'm going to just copy them down so they're lined up with the other toilet. And it seems to be snapping pretty close to center there, so I'm really that's really quite fine. And let's go ahead then and start looking at what we can do about making connections here. We might need to use a join tool here. So let's go and look at this in a 3D view. Whoops, wrong one. Oh, I got us all fiddled around here. One more time, sorry. Now I think you can also use the join tool. If I was to select, you can use just like the wall tool to join these. So I can actually select these. Line is too short. I don't know if we have an alignment problem here. Let's take a look at it from the right side view. Oops. Those are lined up fine. Let's look at it from the other angle. Yeah, I can't exactly see what our problem is there. So maybe we're overshooting it. So let me go around to here. And I'm going to just pull this back. And we'll try one more time with the join tool. There we go. So it was just a little bit too long. And then we'll try the join tool with this one. And that's kind of a problem because we really want a T connection. So let's just see if we can undo that a minute. So by using the join command, it was just trying to make a corner condition. By dragging it on, it worked it the other way around. And let's just take a look at this now in a 3D view. Now we've got these other little stub outs. So let's see if we can use the join tool for that. Yeah, that works fine. All right, now we're going to need a vertical stack and a couple of other elements, but what I'll do is I'll break the video now and then we'll pick up in the next clip.